Hello, hello. So I've had this idea for a while. I just haven't made a video on it. This is describing the population. So 60% of the population goes with whichever idea is the most popular. They just adopt that idea. That's as far as their reasoning goes. That's what they do. And this is the whole point of propaganda. This is the whole point of political movements, protests, marketing, things like this, right? Like college. People do college, go to college because it's a popular idea. And why is it a popular idea? Because they're propagandized into it through public school from a very, very young age. So it's a cycle. The propaganda makes it popular, which creates the propaganda, which makes it popular, which creates the propaganda. This is how societies work. This is why socialism fails, actually, is the bottom of this chart. The second reason why socialism fails is right here. 30% of the population goes with any idea that is supported by authority. So the more rebellious a population is, the lower this number is. Based on current polling, I think it's currently about 30%. It probably was 50% before social media, and we have seen a decline in this population. Now here we move on to the smart people. These are people who are actually capable of analyzing and thinking about ideas. Probably 9% of the population. These are the people who are quote-unquote free thinkers. These are people that are usually a little bit weird. They're my favorite kind of people. And they are the people who are interested in arcology, because arcology is not supported by authority, and it never will be. And arcology is not a popular idea because it's a new idea. Does that mean it's a bad idea? No, it just means it's not popular yet, right? Ideas always start with one person. It always has to climb its way up with one person. So 9% of the population is capable of analyzing ideas. Now we move on further. Now we have the percent of population that is able to generate new ideas. Probably less than 1% of the population, roughly 1% of the population, is able to generate new ideas. And then finally, we have people who, let me reset this. Then finally, we have people who can generate new good ideas. This is much smaller. You're talking about like 1 in 1,000 of the actual population can generate new good ideas. It could even be less than that. These are all ballpark figures. This is just based on my own personal experience. This is not extremely scientific or not extremely accurate. But I think the bottom two are pretty accurate. I think these bottom two are pretty accurate. Like, when people look at a piece of music, when they look at a movie, when they look at something like this, a meme, right? They're judging how popular it is. If something is popular, people hop on the bandwagon. If something is popular, they're going to go spend that $12 on a movie ticket, right? The quality of the movie doesn't really matter. Only 9% of the population are really able to judge the movie for what it is. If it's a really bad movie, then yeah, some of this other 90% might be like, hey, wait a second, what's going on here? But I'm not sure. Like, look at, what was that movie? Bird Box. That was a movie that went viral, and like, there was no dialogue. The entire movie was them just running through the woods with a blindfold on. Like, was that really a good movie? I mean, I'm hard to say, right? But it was popular. You know what I'm talking about. You probably watched it. So there's this weird... in arcology, we're going to have this top 10%. We're not going to have the bottom 90%. Don't even bother with them. This is why I've switched all of my marketing to very quick. I don't spend more than 10 seconds on someone. And if they're not down with the idea, if they're not interested in learning something new in 10 seconds, then I'm moving on. That's how I do my marketing. That's how I've done my marketing since like 2018. And the saddest part is, if someone's in this bottom 90%, It doesn't matter how long you can beat the idea into them. It doesn't matter how charismatic you are. It doesn't matter how well you connect the dots. If you have like a chalkboard and a PowerPoint presentation, videos lined up. If the videos have 5,000 views, this bottom 90% is never going to accept it. I've had plenty of friends in this bottom 90% that I tried to get to buy Bitcoin over and over and over and over again. And do you know when they they made the switch? Do you know when that light bulb finally turned on? When Bitcoin was supported by authority, or when Bitcoin became, to them, popular in their eyes. So some celebrity had to talk about it, like Taylor Swift had to start like pitching crypto stuff. Once Taylor Swift is into crypto, it's suddenly a good idea. And it's not a good idea a second before Taylor Swift supports cryptocurrency. Because they are not in this top 10%, and they never will be. They never will be. So just ignore them. And if you're looking for talent, if you're looking for talented people, you have to focus on these top two sections of the pyramid. People who can generate new ideas and people who can generate good new ideas. That is the pinnacle of human society. That is the pinnacle of human intellect. And in arcology, I honestly just want that top 10%. I'm not interested in the bottom 90%, and they're not interested in me, and that's perfectly fine. Anyway, I'm not going to go on too much longer. Well, I'm probably going to wrap it up there. And this is a sad truth of the world. And I had a very, very hard time coming to this sad, tragic conclusion. But it's the truth. And as they say, the voice don't lie. Thank you and have a nice day.
But that was when I ruled the world. That was when I